Back on the Bobcat t-250. I want to try to get these track frames cleaned up and painted and try to get this thing finished up. Let's get into it. Well, I got this thing off the ground. It's pretty solid in the back, but I got it on 2x4 blocks and the jack in the front, so but it can't fall left or right, so I guess it'll do. I'm not going to be under it. All I'm trying to do is get the tracks off the ground so I can adjust the track tension. You can see there's probably about 2 inches of droop. It needs to be about a ½ an inch. So I'm going to get in here and put some grease inside this cylinder and tighten these track tensioners up just a little bit. I guess it's this one back here. I thought it was up here somewhere, but maybe not. I can see I've got, you can tell by looking at it, you've got just a little bit of tension left to go. Maybe 2 inches or something. So let's put some grease in it and see what happens. See the track moving. Oh. Now what we need is a ½ inch bolt to go in here. Or 5/8, whichever. According to Bobcat now, this ain't me. That's touching there. Not touching there. I'm gonna go with good enough. We still got plenty of tension left. Pretty tight back here. Ooh, that's locked up. So's that one. That's pretty, it ain't really locked up. Turns. That one turns. That one turns. No, that one does not. I can't believe these don't have any slack in them. I would say when he put tracks on this thing, he probably put rollers in it too. I'm guessing. It don't turn the easiest in the world, but it does turn. I got one that's squealing when I'm driving. It may be on the other side. We'll have to take a look. A while ago, it probably wasn't in camera, but Bobcat says to take a ½ inch or a 5/8 bolt and put under your rollers and get your track tightened up to that. It's completely off the floor. So I've got a ½ inch bolt here. I've got that much. Some guys say 2 fingers, where you can put 2 fingers on it, but I don't want to cram my fingers under there. Now I've got to get these covers back on. I'm gonna clean these up and paint them. I may take them completely off. I don't know if they'll come off. We've got bolts on each side. I think I'll just flip it over the bolts, tighten it up, and then paint right over it. Grind some of this rust off first. Let's go the other. This side's got a buttload of droop in it. Lay my bolt down there, and you can see there's a good 1.5 inches above that bolt. And this one's not open, so I have to get me a tool and open that up. Let me go get a, I guess a 9/16 or a 5/8. I'm not using the impact on these because these tend to strip out. Dirty in there. Doesn't look like anybody's been greasing this one. Whoops. Keeps coming off. Tighten it up. This one's got a smaller fitting than the other. See grease dripping out the bottom. Well, it's moving now. What we need is a power grease gun. Beginning to wonder if anybody ever tensioned these. Okay. Well, there. Done deal. Now we got our bolt where it slides. At least it slides under the front too. That should be good. All right, I got these little covers back on, and some of them were stripped, so I had to get. Luckily, Matt had a little Chinesium tap and die set in his toolbox that I believe he bought off the Mack truck, but it worked okay. I had to find another one of them square drive handles to run it up in there with. It seems like all the pulleys are okay. The front one on that other side is stuck a little bit, and there is one that is making a roaring noise. But I think after I get it painted up, I'll probably try to spray something up in there. I know they're sealed bearings. It don't do no good to spray lubricant up in there, but it's worth a try anyway. We still got this corner to do. We got this one all sealed up now. I'm going to take a little small sanding disc on one of them air sanders and just go over the highlights of this stuff, get it sanded just a little bit, and then put some of that gray Bobcat charcoal spray paint on there just to get it covered up, make it look halfway decent. Hopefully I can turn them rollers where I can get the rollers completely around with the paint. We'll see what happens. We may do some time lapse. Well, a lot of grinding and sanding to get them stickers off. Man, it was hard to get off. And got all the, I guess, rust sanded off that. Good enough to paint it. Got all the little flaky pieces off of this. Feathered it out best I could. You can't feel no edges, so maybe it'll cover up. Covered up on the other side pretty good. Whew. That's the last panels. The two side pieces and this. So next step is clean it up and mask it up and get some paint on it. Well, here it is, sorta covered in paint. I may have to put one more coat on it after it dries, but it's white. You can see ripples all in it where I ground through the surface paint. That stuff's hard to grind through, but you got to get under the rust. I'm not really going to do anything with the sides. I think they'll be fine. I just misted them a little bit. We'll let it dry for a day or two. Like I said, I'm not going to do nothing with that back in there. And then we've got these chain guides, or chain frames, or whatever you call it, track frames. Ooh, smother them with paint in here. We just wanted to put coat. Those are fairly new gears on there, and we just want to get it looking halfway decent. I'm not going to paint the rollers or anything like that. We got decals on this side and on the back door. When the other side dries, I've got some decals that goes down here that says Titan Daily. We got some that goes on the side, like these will be replaced here. I've got all the little decals. I may take those side covers off because I got a little paint on them. I may take the side covers off and repaint them and then put new decals on them. Right now it looks pretty good. Got to get the Bobcat down here on this side. And I'm thinking about getting one of the later model. They've got like a swoosh decal that goes on this arm here. I don't know, it's like a Nike emblem or something like that. Goes on this arm. And then of course the t-250 goes back here. Got this track frame painted. Hopefully I'm done sanding and painting for a while. I'm about choked to death. But that should do it for tonight. And that should conclude this video. We'll come back when we get the decals on it, and this thing should be ready for the road. I'm going to, more than likely, put this one up for sale because I've got my mini excavator and that's all I really wanted. But if you like this kind of content, like, comment, subscribe. We really need subscribers. I'd like to have you guys ride along every time, and if you hit the notification bell, you'll know every time we put a new video up. As soon as we put it up, it'll give you a notification on your YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys watching. Stay clean, everybody.